often hear many stories coming out of China regarding the difficulties faced by business with respect to IP theft. One term that gets tossed around frequently is trademark squatting. Can you please give us a concept on this?
Trademark squatting occurs when you have a local business person uses the trademark of another party in perhaps a different country and registers that trademark in China with no intention of conducting any kind of commercial business in connection with that mark. Once that trademark has been registered by the local business person, oftentimes he will wait until the foreign party, the actual trademark owner, elects to come into China, and at that point he may offer up the registration in exchange for money. Trademark squatting is as close to legal extortion in China.
I'm sure this can come a quite shock for most of people. How can we explain on this phenomenon?
Trademark squatting is a product of a legal system, as we have here in China, that emphasizes on who is to register first, as opposed to in other countries where the priority is given to those who first conceive the mark and first to use it in commerce.
Who can be the victim of trademark squatting?
Anybody can be a victim. Oftentimes you have large companies from Apple to Huawei to anyone, whether domestic or foreign. If someone elects to take your mark and use it in an area where you are currently not occupying, and they prevent you from entering that market with your mark, then you are a victim of that. But actually, you know who the real victims are? It's all of us, whether it's consumers or otherwise. The victims are people that not knowingly, perhaps buying a product containing a mark that is supposed to stand for standard for a particular product or service, and ends up being a product that may have been purchased by someone and use it in a manner that is not consistent with the trademark owner.
What are some of the ways businesses can protect themselves from trademark squatting?
Before you register that trademark, the best way for you to protect your intellectual property in China is to have an overall intellectual property strategy. Because at the end of the day, China is a force to be reckoned, and China is a country that will have a footprint that will affect all businesses wherever you are worldwide.
Throughout your years as an attorney and founder of law firm in China, how do you advise your clients that are facing this problem?
Squatting is a problem in China, and the best way to face it is before you run off filing cancellation actions, invalidation actions, bringing suits, is that you've got to know what you're dealing with. You've got to fully investigate the situation so that you know who's doing what, how the various marks are being used or not being used, and come up with a comprehensive strategy so that ultimately the rightful trademark owner can achieve their ultimate result, which is to bring that mark back to its rightful owner.
What else do you have in your arsenal?
One perhaps that is worthy of consideration is entering into a buyback agreement with the squatter. Others include entering into a coexistence agreement, or perhaps a full investigation and find out the weakness on the other side, and then use that weakness in a manner that will ultimately achieve our objective, which is to bring the trademark back to its rightful owner.